Educate yourself. Spread the word. The United Nations has just declared war on the truth. They're telling you outright that if you speak up, you're a conspiracy theorist. Shouldn't be believed. Should be approached in a certain fashion, and the authorities should be contacted, and all kinds of neat shit. So they want war? Arm yourself with facts. Get out there and start telling the people. If you don't want to do it on social media, do it in person. Do it on the telephone. Do it like we used to do, standing around on the street corner having a coffee. Do you know who your enemy is? The World Economic Forum. For 51 years they've been working at this. They've been planning and scheming, working as hard as they can. And now, here we are. Klaus Schwab has admitted that for over 45 years, they've been working directly with the CCP. Well, now here we are in Canada and the US. We got 5G, military-grade 5G technology right across the country. Where did it come from? Who owns that technology? And what's going to happen when they don't like us anymore? Get to know your enemy. Get to know the facts. Speak the fuck up. And be a warrior. That's what we need to do, instead of following Marcus like a bunch of fucking sheep.
Hello, everyone. My name is Swamp. Welcome back, everyone, and happy Friday. Yeah, man. That is one based grandpa right there. I love that clip. He's got a bunch of other clips, too. I'll start adding them at the beginning of shows every now and again. He's just out living on his property, just old man making TikTok videos going, you know who your enemy is? It's the World Economic Forum. Hell yeah. That guy could probably kick my ass. Yeah, I'm working hard to become that guy. One day that'll be me. All right, so I got some cool stuff today. Well, I mean, I guess, you know, that's relative. If you're a glutton for punishment, we got some cool stuff today. The first thing, I didn't know how to even bring this up or talk about it, so I was like, I'll just play it first thing right off the bat. It's from the show Steven Universe, which I had never heard of it, and then I realized that the reason I never heard of it is because it kind of, you know, looks like it's supposed to be for kids, but really it's for 35-year-old woke liberals to try to address their childhood trauma. It's brutal. It's brutal. But this, oh man. I've never seen anything quite like this. Check this out.
Oh, I don't get it. We accepted you.
That is what parents are supposed to do. That's the bare minimum. What about that dinner?
What dinner?
You know what dinner. You just let Grammy Graham say all that stuff to me right to my face.
Oh.
God. Yeah, so I guess this person with the blue hair is a transgender person. I know it's a shocker. But what is wrong with these people? And this is how they get out their angst from to their parents, is in these stupid children's shows where they make up these fake stories where they own their parents. Oh man.
Oh, honey buns, we all know Grammy Grams is difficult. Does it matter what she says?
Yeah, and what's worse, you didn't even stand up for me.
Oh, she wouldn't understand.
You don't understand!
Sir, if you're gonna do that again, I'm gonna have to ask you.
Oh, and here's their one attempt at humor. See, this is where it's funny. You ready? This is the funny part.
To leave, but Everyone else was doing it.
They're actors?
Well, that's just confusing.
Yeah, you're setting a bad example.
Agreed.
The one thing I will say about this that is spot on is the transgender person. I mean, just nailed it. Stupid hair, fat, has this weird jacket with what we could only assume if they were detailed are like some kind of LGBTQ pins, or maybe it has their pronouns on it or something, but man. Imagine the people who watch this like in real life.
Barney!
Norma?
Barney,
Yeah,
we figured it out.
It would, yeah. What would complete the picture would be the nose ring for sure.
Excuse me, we're having a family discussion.
Oh, sorry. We didn't mean to.
So are we.
Oh man, this is only emotionally stunted people would come up with this. You know that this person has thought about for 15 years. I should have said that to my parents when they said we're having a family discussion. So are we.
Come along, Patrick.
Look, guys, I apologize for running away and not telling you. That was wrong.
Then come home.
You've got to make it one first.
Who writes this shit? Come on. See, this is the part, you know that this is written by, you know, just one of these brilliant leftist pronoun people, because, come on. They have to do this one part where it's, look, I'm being the bigger person. Mom, Dad, look, I am sorry that I ran away without telling you. See, establishing their moral stance, right? They're better. Taking the high road, right? But the only reason that they say it is so that they can give that gut punch, that emotional delivery right after. You have to make it a home first. And if this was real life, this is how they would look at him right after he said that. And then the dad's face would change from this like shocked look to just fucking pissed, and he'd go over and just grab his son by the shoulder and be like, all right, you're getting your ass in the car. We're going the fuck home and talking about this, you idiot. Oh, it's brilliant. Well, one more time.
Come along, Patrick.
He's the one being a prick. It's the blue-haired kid. But they gotta stop. They feel like they're morally superior.
Look, guys, I apologize for running away and not telling you. That was wrong.
Then come home.
You've got to make it one first.
Imagine creating that and thinking that you've made some kind of this is powerful. When I came across that, I saw all these comments on it, and people were like, I mean, mostly it was people ripping on it, being like, wow, this is retarded. But there was a few people that were actually saying things like, dude, when he said you have to make it one first, that hit home for me. That was so emotional. Of course it was. Just absolutely pointless drivel of dialogue. But we're gonna keep the laugh train going, because we've covered a lot of heavy stuff, especially if you were here on TikTok Tuesday with the progressive clergy. Man, that was hard to get through. That was emotionally, spiritually, and physically draining to try to get through that. That was brutal. So that was Steven Universe. And now, another hilarious thing. Fish are now being tested for COVID in China. But don't take my word for it. Watch this. Chinese authorities have moved beyond testing just humans for COVID-19. They inserted cotton buds into the mouths of fish. They're swabbing the outside of a crab. And this video doesn't have any sound, so I'm just gonna keep the country bluegrass jams going, and I'll read it for you. But and they swabbed the shells of crabs. And look at that. I mean, the whole hazmat suit, man. And the guy holding the crab doesn't have any of that shit on. It's just like, I mean, I guess if you want to swab the outside of this crab. Oh, man. In July, the local government announced that all fishermen had to be tested. As well as the seafood that they catch. You can't make this up. Pandemic control measures should be followed. All offshore maritime workers must be vaccinated before setting sail. Fishermen must be tested once a day while at sea. When they return from sea, both fishermen and the seafood must be tested. So you got to get a shot before you get on the boat. And then when you're on the boat, you have to be tested at least once while you're out on the boat. And then when you come back with your haul, you have to get tested again. But not only that, you got to stand in line and have all hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and I assume thousands of fish. You have to hold them up, and each one has to be swabbed to check for COVID. And correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't COVID a respiratory thing? Can a fish get a respiratory virus that affects that affects oxygen breathing things? I don't know. Maybe they're doing the right thing. Maybe I'm the idiot. Live fish was also tested in a Shanghai food market in March. The recent incident... Oh, wait, did it say tested positive? Is that what it said? Live fish was also tested in a Shanghai food market in March. Yeah, this was translated by a Chinese person. The recent incident has caused heated discussion online. That's us, right here, right now. We're having a heated discussion about it. What is the point of swabbing animals that don't even have lungs? Yeah. Does the seafood get a code after being tested and undergo quarantine if the PCR test result is positive? These are the questions. These are the questions you got to be asking. Some thought that the policy was reasonable. And those people were not bots, and they were not paid shills from the Chinese government. The virus was found in cherries. It could be in fish, too. I support doing the PCR testing. Totally not a government bot. I mean, we all know the virus came from bats, so clearly it could be in all kinds of things. I don't understand why so many people are making fun of this. Testing the fish is also part of environmental sampling. This is for public safety. Oh, yes, yes. We're not the only place doing this. That's always, you have a good policy when the defense of it is, well, I mean, we're not the only ones that do this. Okay, it still doesn't make it any less moronic. We're not the only place doing this. We took the lesson from Hainan, I don't speak Chinese, which is witnessing a serious outbreak. It's said that it may be triggered by marine product interactions between local fishermen and their overseas counterparts. If there is an outbreak among fishermen, I'm pretty sure you can safely rule out that it was the fish that gave them the COVID. I mean, that would be the first thing I would rule out. I'd be like, well, we know it's not the fish. South China Morning Post. That is some good stuff. I just want to see here. I just want to look at that fish, man. He's like, oh shit, what is going on? Oh god. Free the fish. Free the fish. God. Oh, these people, man. And I don't just mean Chinese people, okay? I'm not racist. I mean COVIDians. The branch COVIDians. Oh, imagine thinking COVID is still a thing. Like all those people who, when the CDC relaxed their regulations to what probably 80% of the population has been doing for the last year. They finally actually made that their policy. And the people who are saying, the government has abandoned us. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. People will die. Well, if they're gonna die, they better do it and decrease the surplus population. Name that reference. I guess it's the wrong time of year for that reference. Damn, I should have waited until Christmas time. So, in other news, I'm sure we're all aware of the IRS agents, there being, them getting like, 82,000? Or it was 82 or 87,000, something like new agents. Well, it turns out this might not be that big of a problem. Because, they said that they, because they wanted people who were willing to use deadly force and all that. And so, yeah, the videos that have surfaced recently, because, we were all going, what the hell? Deadly force? Are you kidding me? The IRS is they're just going to be out there packing heat, being like, you were $34 short on your tax return. Uh-oh, it just started raining. Hopefully my power doesn't go out in the middle of the stream. But anyway, yeah, so, people were worried, right? Like, hey, they're going to come and get us. Well, it turns out there's really nothing to worry about.
Graduation day, right?
Alright, so we'll take it along the wall and line up on the wall, okay? Alright, there's good. You can do your line up there, whoever's going first. Alright, you guys got everybody here? Alright,
oh, this is pure gold.
Alright, whenever you guys are ready, you go.
Here we go, here we go.
Police, federal agent,
Freeze!
IRS.
Put your hands up.
Put your hands up. Where's that hands up?
I don't even need to say anything about this. I mean, just watch this.
Do you have your weapons up, sir? Wrong place. Look for action camera.
What is that guy doing? How is he holding that gun? What is going on? Everyone. I mean, good Lord.
I'm not saying nothing.
They're more likely to hurt themselves than anybody else.
Sir, I'm an IRS special agent. I have your weapons on you.
I'm not saying a thing.
All right, please
You
get
do what
on.
you gotta do. I'm not saying anything.
Turn around.
I have a gun. Yeah, I have a permit. It's legal.
Behind your back.
Can we take your weapon, please?
Well, if you're going to ask me, I don't know.
This is better than any movie Hollywood has put out in the last 15 years.
Do you have any other weapons on you?
Nope.
Can you please put your hands behind your back? Sure. Can you lean forward?
Stay still. Please don't leave, sir. I have
Jeez. Man, that guy's got his finger on the imaginary trigger, too.
Hands up. You got no right.
Serious.
Thank God they got that guy that didn't didn't claim the right stuff on his taxes, man. Got him. Jeez. I would think that, like, the first thing that you would do if you're going to be giving people, you know, they're fake guns, obviously, but it's like the first thing you would do with a fake gun is like, okay, we're going to teach you how to hold this weapon. Oh, they can't even hold the weapon. I mean, what is going on? God. But don't worry. It gets better, all right? Because there's an actual news report about this. And it's just beautiful. I mean, look out, man. Look out, dude. The IRS is... They bad boys.
What is this?
What you
With the
gonna do? What you gonna do when the IRS comes for you? All right, here, check this out. Check this out.
You're going to jail, buddy.
Most people don't even know that the IRS has criminal investigators who use their accounting skills and their authority as a special IRS agent to help solve tax crimes.
We are the only agency that
Of course, that's what the IRS supervisory special agent looks like. Man. He's not very intimidating. Not very intimidating. But the woman is right when she said that most people are not aware that the IRS has this capability in this branch. And that's disturbing in and of itself, because this has been around, I think, since the beginning of the IRS, this law enforcement branch of it that is allowed to use deadly force because of tax fraud.
can work investigations regarding tax evasion and other tax-related offenses.
The Adrian Project has been helping advertise the IRS Special Agents CI's roles for the past 15 years by visiting different schools around the nation.
It was named after Adrian University because that was the first place it happened at. There were a public information officer.
This guy, man, he is killing me right now. Of course he's the guy that does this for the IRS. Of course he is.
In Detroit, Michigan, who came up with this.
This is only the second time this project has taken place in Utah, and Dixie State was selected for one of them. 31 accounting students and those studying forensics or criminal justice took the afternoon to discover other options where they can use their skills.
Tax fraud, where he wasn't reporting as much taxes as he should have.
If you have
these are the people they're going to be recruiting. Well, it was tax fraud where he wasn't reporting as much taxes as he should have. So, yeah, now get on the ground. Get on the ground now. You want to die today, punk?
Have an accounting degree paired with criminal justice that makes you very marketable in this line of work.
Sworn-in IRS criminal investigators can
accountants with criminal justice experience. It's a very valuable
surveillance and undercover operations after finding what appears to be tax evasion. To become an agent, hirees must go through 6 months of special training.
We have regular trainings in firearms, building entry, so it encompasses, it's a mix of being behind the computer, but also being out in the field, doing interviews, doing search warrants, or making arrests.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, they're coming for you. And you better not laugh when you open the door, because that's mean and you could hurt their feelings. Don't laugh at them. They're very special. Very special IRS agents.
The IRS investigators also work closely with the Department of Justice if they need warrants or seizures of items.
We've seen many Ponzi schemes where the individual at the top of the scheme will be driving around a very nice sports car or a luxury vehicle, and he purchased that car with the proceeds of the fraud. And when we can go in and we can prove...
Oh, come on. How can you take yourself seriously? What is this guy doing? So he used this to buy a car, and that's why we showed up at his house with a no-knock warrant and shot him 36 times.
That asset was purchased with criminal proceeds. We're allowed by law to seize those assets.
Yeah, and nobody is happy about that, bud. I can promise you that. Everyone be nice to the special agents. They're just doing their best. Absolute clown world. How would you feel? Because the collapse has happened. They've raised your taxes to 73%. And then you go, well, fuck this. I'm not paying the government anymore. These people they're crooks. I hate them. And then that guy shows up at your house. Sir, we see that you didn't pay, and there was well, you bought a new car, and well, that's just like, that's not cool, I don't want to have to shoot you, but I mean, I will. So yeah, warrant served. Got him. I mean, come on. It's the little things that piss off the IRS, too. They act as if, yeah, it's like big, important stuff, but the rest of that, like, news broadcast showed, like, the case they were working on. Like, with the class there, and it was about how, like, a guy who owned a the hypothetical was like a contractor who owns his own business was like got his taxes wrong. It's like, wow, that evil son of a bitch. Better get him. Better shoot him. Well, I just wonder if you can hear the rain, because that's probably making the mic sound different too. Yeah, this is what this is what Based Grandpa was talking about. Yeah, unfortunately, you're going to hear the rain, which is a bummer, but hey, there's just some things out of my control. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. That's what for a long time a lot of people thought that, well, surely those guys in DC, they must know what's going on. They must have it together. And then you see that guy and you go, ah, shit. We're screwed, aren't we? We are so screwed. All right. It would not be a swamp show if we didn't talk about teachers. It's kind of my bread and butter at this point. Cannot get through a show if we don't talk about teachers. So, I don't know if you've heard this, but the new thing that the teachers are mad about is there was a few places that recently passed bills that require teachers to report what their, like, get approval for the books that they have. Oh man, it is raining hard now. It's like we're doing the show outside. I'll have to get some better sound deadening for that. Or just turn the music up and see if I can drown it out. Yeah, it's coming in. What is the forecast? Let's see. I would show you the radar, but then you know where I live, so that's not cool, man. Not cool. Yep, it's gonna be going for a little while. Oh, it's getting a little chiller. Wow, this radar sucks. Anyway, small talk about the weather. That's what you come here for. small talk about the weather. So yeah, what I was saying, the new thing that all these woke teachers are mad about is they have to have all the books in their classroom approved by like the school and the parents, and there's certain books they're not allowed to have, and they're very, 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 very upset that they can't just do whatever the hell they want. They're very mad about it. That, and that they're now having to get approval from parents for any like extracurricular or, you know, like clubs that the kid wants to be a part of. They have to send home a permission slip, and the parents have to approve it. And they just hate it when parents are involved in this. They just can't stand it. They really think that they are their kids. I don't know why they think this, but... And they simultaneously need validation from the kids. It's just all backwards. But yeah, I've got the video of these two teachers. God, I mean, the entitlement, the narcissism, it's just unreal. They are so pissed to have to do, one, any actual work, but then two, to have parents involved at all with their kids. They just can't stand it. Yeah, I mean, if you want to raise kids a certain way, have your own. That's how it works. You don't get to raise someone else's kids. It's never worked that way. Man, it keeps coming in waves, the rain. Here, turn down the music. It's very calming. Welcome to ASMR with Swamp Johnson. This is rain on an old tin roof. Very relaxing. Yeah, I'm sure it probably does sound like static on your end. Oh, well, there's nothing I could do about it now. One of these days I'll get a nice, get some nice sound deadening stuff, but that could only happen with super chats from viewers like you to help support the Swamp Studio. We'll be back right after a message from our sponsors. That's the Swamp Weather Radio. We'll be back on Swamp Talk. I keep waiting to see if the weather is gonna mellow out before I go to the next thing. But it looks like we're just gonna have to soldier on. We're just gonna have to soldier on. It was clear, beautiful day all day. And then as soon as I go live, it starts pouring down. Anyway, fine. We'll just get into it. Thanks, Fish. I'll have to step up my game. The guilt trip game. But hey, when you tip, you get to see it go across the screen and drop in the jar. I mean, there's also that. Yeah, I gotta get better at it, that's for sure. Man, I'm waiting. Why? What? Did I miss it? I'm like, there it is. See, it goes slower when you only tip $2. So that took a while to show up. That's what your money gets you. Faster response time. And there it goes. Oh, two of them fell out. You got to tip again, man. They fell on the floor. I can't find those. Okay, we might as well get into it. This first teacher is from Tennessee, which just really bums me out because most of you know that I live in Tennessee. I really didn't think this kind of stuff would come to Tennessee, but I guess it's everywhere nowadays, so let's get to it.
In my classroom on a Saturday, and you're probably wondering why, because most teachers, like myself, don't believe in coming to work on the weekend. But let me tell you why. If you're a Tennessee teacher, you know why I'm here, because I'm sitting in front of my classroom library on a Saturday because
You see how pissed she is about it being a Saturday? I mean, get over your... Like, these... I've done other videos about these teachers where they are so pissed if they have to do anything that's not in the exact hours of school time. And it's like, what are you talking about? You have summers off already. When school's in session, you should basically be on call 24/7. I mean, if you're going to take the summers off, at least work when you're in school. Is that too much to ask? But the narcissism, these people are crazy. They don't know what it's like to actually work a job. There was one woman in one of the TikTok teacher videos that I did that made this whole video about filming the moon. And she was like, you should never be getting off work when the moon is out. Can you see that? The moon is out. Not when you're a teacher. You should never be working at night. And it's like, wow, you really have never had another job, have you? Because everybody else is looking at you going, man, you entitled narcissistic piece of shit.
Tennessee General Assembly passed a law that basically says, get this, if a teacher wants his or her students to read any of the books at school or in the teacher's classroom.
Says, I can't, basically says, I can't believe she didn't say, which like literally says.
The teacher has to catalog every single book. So most teachers have hundreds of books, some I would say thousands.
Okay, lady, you are not very smart. Thousands of books in one classroom? A teacher? No, you can go straight to hell with that one. This woman is not very bright. But hey, she's a teacher. She doesn't have to be.
Of books. They have to catalog all of them. So the title, the author. Once they catalog them, they send them to their class or their school library.
And, you know, what I remember from school, generally the only classrooms that actually have books in the classroom are like little kids, which you can clearly see like from her classroom is obviously some kind of elementary school. Because, I mean, that doesn't exist when you get into the higher grades. I mean, there's a library, you know, you don't have books in there, but it's all the more important if it's young kids to make sure that they know what books are there and the parents approve of them. You know, why is this just so outlandish to her? She just can't believe it. This is crazy. I have to catalog all my books. But you didn't have that done already? Have you ever been to a library, woman?
Librarian. The librarian has a list of books that are approved or not approved based on, I don't even know what, honestly. And
that does not surprise me in the slightest, that you do not know what constitutes an appropriate book and what doesn't. That does not surprise me at all.
then from that list, the ones that are approved, she's like, okay, these are approved. So I have to go through all these books and then pull out the ones that are not approved. And then from the list that wasn't approved that she didn't have, she sends that to someone higher up. And then I'm assuming that it's probably someone that's never even been in a classroom, that's never taught children, but that's neither here nor there. So they get the list, and then they go through the...
You know, all these things that she's like, I don't even know what, blah, blah, blah. Very, very easy to find out this information. And you're a teacher, I would suggest that, you know, that maybe you should have already known this. This is something that you should just be aware of as a teacher.
The list of books that she didn't have, and then they determine whether these books are appropriate, not appropriate, whether they're approved or not, and then they send that.
And it's on a Saturday. Oh my gosh. You know how she's like drawing this out like it's the craziest thing ever, like it's this long process. I can explain what she has to do in one sentence. Okay? You ready? This is it. She's been talking about this for like 4 minutes now. All she has to do, write down the names of her books that she has, send them to the library, and they check to see if they are allowed. That's it. That's all she has to do. And on a Saturday, like, oh my gosh.
Back. And then, so I have to go through all the books again, take out the ones that are not approved, either by the librarian or whomever. And then after that, after I do all that, then I have to post that list online
all of that.
For my parents to see.
All of that. Can you believe? That's so much stuff. Do you understand how much work that is? Writing stuff down, giving it to somebody. Man. Teachers have never had to do anything like this before. This is fascist, is actually what this is.
In case they want to chime in about the books that are in my classroom. And then after that, the kids can start reading the books. And
it took her over 2 minutes to explain that, as if it was just, oh my gosh, how cumbersome this is. And it's just, can you believe this? And on a Saturday. On a Saturday. Oh, God, no. A teacher should never have to work on a Saturday.
So, I'm a teacher in Florida. And if you don't know, the Florida legislature and Governor Ron DeSantis passed a bill recently that affects essentially all aspects of our jobs.
Oh no. I could tell this is going to be terrible. This is going to be bad, man. Oh, you know how I know? It's because she did that thing that all of these lefties do. That's when you know that they're about to drop some real knowledge on your ass.
Things that I am not allowed to do anymore, according to our school district, because of these bills. Number one, I cannot have any book in my classroom that has not been expressly approved by the district.
Can you believe that? She can't have a book in her class that hasn't been approved. Dude, this is it. We have become Nazi Germany. This is it. The West has fallen, replaced with the Third Reich.
I'm a history teacher. I keep a lot of things in my classroom that help influence my instruction. That's not the textbook, but now I'm not allowed to do that.
No, actually, you are allowed to do that. You even said it. You just have to make sure that it's approved. You are allowed to do that. You just have to tell them what the books are. It's not that hard.
Number two, if a student wants to have any kind of after-school activity, they have to have explicit permission for that specific activity. This really does limit.
I can't believe that they didn't require that already.
I understand wanting to know where your children are, but this is going to put kids in danger. I can more about later. If a student tells me that they want to go by a different name or use pronouns that are not related to their biological gender or their biological sex,
Get it right. Get it right. This is very important.
Have to alert guidance, and then they have to alert the parents and get explicit permission for that to happen. If a student tells me that they are not straight, I have to tell their parents.
These teachers are just so shocked that parents would like basic status updates about the well-being of their child. It's like this has never occurred to them. Maybe they just all had shit parents and they don't understand that sometimes a parent would like to know basic things about what the child is learning in school. I know, it's wild. It's wild. And would like to make sure that things like, Genderqueer, the book that I showed that's available to like 6th graders, elementary school kids, but when I showed it, it got my video age restricted because it's like pornography. And I blurred it out and I still got age restricted. Yeah, it's those kinds of things that the parents would like, to be aware of. But, this is crazy.
We have been instructed that if the student is fearful of their parents' reactions, that we are to call DCF, which is Department of Children and Families. This feels like we're living in like a fascist police state.
Told you. I called it. This is the Third Reich. This is literally Nazi shit, man. This is like literally the literal Nazis. Literal fascism. Literally.
I'm worried for the health, the safety, and the well-being of my students because teachers are going to follow this.
Well, yeah, teachers are going to follow this if they want to keep their jobs. What does that mean? Teachers are going to follow this. Can you believe it? Well, yeah, or they get fired. So, yeah, I would say so. I'd say that it's doing its job, actually.
Going to make a point to follow this in this district. And children are going to be harmed. It's a specific...
Children are going to be harmed. They're going to be harmed. That's always their claim, isn't it? That people are going to literally die because of this. This is what's going to happen. We are literally living in The Handmaid's Tale.
Specific target of the LGBTQ population. But here's the deal, okay? Not every student has supportive parents. And so my main issue that I have with all of these rules is that now I am being forced.
I'm sure McDonald's employees already know her very well. Fish. McDonald's is probably... oh, believe me. I'm pretty sure they know her pretty well. And yeah, that freeze frame is not doing her any favors.
To out students to their parents. That is not my job. It's not. Everyone's like, well, why are kids talking to you about their sexuality? A lot of students confide in their teachers. That's just the reality. We're with them for 8 hours a day.
Yes, you are with them for 8 hours a day. That's why parents want to know what the hell you're doing. How is this so hard to understand?
5 days a week. I see them so frequently. They get comfortable and they want to talk to me. They want to ask opinions, you know, and that's...
I knew I would find a way to guilt you into another super chat, Fish. I appreciate it.
Just kind of part of being a high school teacher. As far as the classroom or the activity, like permission slip that everyone's so concerned about, we've never had to do that before, which is why for us, it's kind of a jarring thing.
Super jarring to have the kids take permission slips home to get permission to do things that are extracurricular. When did they stop doing that? That's what I want to know. Everything when I was in school, you had to have a permission slip signed to do. Everything. When did they get rid of that? I'm guessing it was somewhere around the same time when teachers started saying, "Hi, I am Mix Johnson. I have sex with these types of genitalia. Don't tell your parents."
I have never once had to have a permission slip to allow a student to join an organization that I sponsor. Ever. What this does is it essentially forces students who have really strict conservative homophobic parents, I'm not saying all conservatives are homophobic, just to not join organizations that may allow them a safe place to exist in their own sexuality and gender. We have to...
Well, thank you for not saying that all conservatives are homophobic. That's generous of you. I mean, we know that's what you that's what you mean. That's what you believe. That's what you believe. But, you know, thanks for throwing me a bone. I appreciate that.
Tons of LGBTQ presenting organizations on different campuses all around the country. And students join those because they need a safe place. And now they might not be able to. At the end of the day, I would love all of my students to have safe and supported home lives. But that's not the reality. And I really want my kids, regardless of their background, to feel safe in my class.
See, this is one thing that I've brought up before, is that teachers have always referred to their classroom, you know, as like what my kids, like they've always done that. But it's only become creepy in like the last 5 to 6 years. It didn't used to be creepy because you knew what they were talking about. You know, yeah, my class of kids, my kids. But then it's the way that these people talk, it makes it creepy. Where like they actually feel possessive over the children. They feel that they are the parents. It's like they, you know, look at me. I am the parent now. They really believe that. They're like, I wish that all kids had supportive families, but they don't. So I am the parent now. They are my kids. Mine.
Class. And if that means that they want me to call them a different name and use a different I'm going to do it. Because it makes them feel safe and supported and respected. It's just, I don't understand what's hard to understand. I don't want to out my kids.
This wasn't a problem 10 years ago. That's what the problem is. Don't you see what's happening? It's like that. There was one teacher who said that she was so happy to find out that all of her kids had come out to her as some kind of LGBTQ. And she was just so happy that they were able to do that. And they did it after she told them that she was this, and she wanted to make sure that it was safe. And, you know, and these are little kids. So, of course, when they see that that's what their teacher wants, they all do it. They all said it, and she didn't think there was anything wrong with that. She genuinely believed that all of these kids were LGBTQ, all of them. And it's like, how do you not see this?
That's it. That's the bottom line. I don't want to out my kids. If you have a problem with that, we should have a different conversation.
No, actually, since this is what you want to do, you now get fired. You get fired. You just explained that you know that this is the law and this is what you're required to do, and you said, well, I'm just not going to do it. And then you make this face. Like, really? All right, it's time for reality to smack you in the face. Get fired. Cool. I'm glad you feel that way. So the unemployment office is over there. So you're going to have to go find something. Because you no longer work here. You knew what the rules were, and you didn't care. This is yet another case of have TikTok get fired. These are my kids. These are my kids. That is just creepy, man. You know, I was thinking I'm gonna maybe some month, maybe next month if I can get it done in time, I'll do a trucker hat month where I'll make I'll pick 4 of the most popular trucker hats that I have and make them and put them in the store. Get the Make Asylums Great Again, have TikTok get fired, maybe the beer glass one, and I don't know. I'll have to pick one of the other ones, and be the Swamp Trucker Hat month. Collect them all. I just can't wait to get to the end of year 2 because I want to start a collection of swamp mugs. Got my year 1 mug sitting right here. I can't wait till I got 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be awesome. Well, that is if they don't delete me before I can do that. I've been pretty lucky with YouTube. I mean, I try my best not to piss them off, but I mean, I'm going to say whatever I want to say, but, you know, there's ways to work around it a little bit. Okay, should we go on? Let's keep going with the teacher thing. I'll end it with something else, because we got a few teacher things today. Actually, you know what? Let's go to Yale Medicine. You would think a very prestigious organization. Oh. This is good stuff right here. And by good stuff, I mean absolutely psychotic. But it's par for the course at this point. But let's just say they really want to trans the kids. They cannot help themselves. It's a compulsion. It's a disease. They just cannot help it.
I'm a clinical psychologist by training, and I am the director of the Yale Gender Program, which is an interdisciplinary program working with gender expansive individuals, 3 to 25, and their families. We help individuals who are questioning their gender identity or who identify.
They always have this expression, this like blank, fake, happy thing, where it's like, this looks like it's drug induced. Like it's not natural. And yes, you did hear that right. As early as 3 years old. 3 years old. I mean, listen.
I'm a clinical psychologist by training, and I am the director of the Yale Gender Program, which is an interdisciplinary program working with gender expansive individuals, 3 to 25, and their families. We help individuals who are questioning their gender identity or who identify as transgender or non-binary.
3 to 25. I mean, never mind that you shouldn't be doing this to anybody regardless of their age. But 3? My favorite comment on this video was someone saying, yeah, 3 years old. Yeah, so turn and face the wall now. Thank you. Oh, yes, 3 years old. Okay, yeah, so could you just turn and face the wall?
We help them with their gender journey, thinking through the risks and the benefits of medical intervention, starting medical intervention, and also building supports around them. And I love what I do, so it's really, really wonderful.
Yeah, it's this really weird, it looks like it's like drug induced, right? But really, I mean, it's a psychosis. I mean, their faces, they're always like this. The woman who was talking about the hysterectomies for children at the Boston school, she had the same look. And the way they talk and nod constantly while they're talking is like they're trying to convince themselves too. Like they talk very slowly. There's all these pauses, and they want to make sure they don't step on any woke landmines. It's like a hostage situation. The wokeness is holding a gun to her head right now, and I gotta say the right things or they're gonna get me. It's a woke hostage situation that does sometimes, unfortunately, result in Stockholm syndrome, where they really believe this is good for me. This is what the world needs.
To be working in this field and to be working with individuals who are gender diverse and gaining their support and helping them on their gender journeys.
Oh, yes.
I'm a clinical psychologist.
They're gaining their support and helping them with their gender journeys. I mean, look at this woman. Like, turn off the sound and just watch this. Like when you can't hear her talk. She looks nuts. Her eyebrows pushed all the way up all the time, wide-eyed, that forced smile. She's a witch. She's a witch. Burn her. Burn her. She turned me into a newt. She turned me into a transgender newt. And you know what is interesting is when this clip started to go viral, it's funny how this just always seems to be the case for some inexplicable reason. So I went to, this is the YouTube channel that it's from. And I went through every single one of their videos, and they've taken down every single one that had to do with her and the transgender and gender diverse and blah, blah, blah. They took them all down. Just shocked that people didn't think it was good news. They were just shocked that people weren't just totally on board with this. They're like, I mean, how could that be? Yeah, I went through every single video. They scrubbed it, just like Boston Children's Hospital did. I'm glad that I did that video when I did, because you can't do it now. They took them all down. The playlist is gone. All of those 90 videos are gone. When I did the video, they had taken down half of them, but the other half were still up. The ones they thought were acceptable. Yeah, none of it was acceptable, as it turns out. And really, who could have seen it coming? Who could have known that people would have been upset about this? They're just doctors doing their work. To 3-year-olds. Who knew that medicine would come so far to the point where medicine is transitioning a 3-year-old and then giving them a hysterectomy when they turn 14. I'm not sure if that's medicine exactly, but hey, what do I know? I'm just an ignoramus. I have no idea what's going on. All right, let's head back into the classroom. I guess that one was kind of teacher related because she was a professor, but on to everyone's favorite thing. I hope this doesn't make you leave. Because it's about to get crazy in here. Let's learn about minor attracted persons. Oh, right off the bat. I mean, look at that. Oh, man. Let's see what she has to say. I'm sure. I mean, she doesn't look crazy, right? I mean, she doesn't look crazy. Surely whatever she's about to say is going to be reasonable.
Folks, my name is Miranda. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a licensed professional counselor and sex therapist in Erie, Pennsylvania. And today I want to talk about minor attracted persons.
Oh, well, now the haircut and insanity makes sense. You know, they say you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover. But how come I'm always right when I do so? I'm batting 1,000 over here. I mean, I seem to always know. There's subtle hints. Subtle hints. I mean, most people may look at this woman and think, well, that's totally a normal, well-adjusted person. But I picked up on the subtle cues. The glasses, the shaved head, the bright red lipstick, the awful tattoo. It's subtle stuff. I'll do a webinar about it one of these days, and I'll get you guys up to speed on it.
And I want to talk about minor attracted persons because they are probably the most vilified population of folks in our culture.
Oh, those poor pedos. They're just the most vilified group. They're really not that bad. I mean, come on. There's no one more vilified than them, and it's so undeserved. It is not. It's just bigotry, really.
And most folks are making incorrect assumptions about them without actually knowing much about them. And
hey, my only assumption about a pedophile is that they diddle children, and that's really all I need to know. All right, straight to the gallows with you. Thank you for playing. Try again. Hope you get reincarnated as someone who isn't an asshole.
Those assumptions create harm for an already marginalized population. You may have noticed that I'm using the term minor attracted persons, sometimes abbreviated to.
Yes, we all did notice that, and we all hated you for it. So thank you. Thank you for that.
MAPS, instead of the more commonly used term pedophile. And I'm doing this because the term pedophile has moved from being a diagnostic label to being a judgmental, hurtful insult that we hurl at people.
Oh. See, it's the word. It's the word that is insulting. If you just use a different word, then it's all good, because it's actually the word that is the problem, not the person. See, the word pedophile just had a stigma. No one knows why. Scientists, linguists have not been able to discern why the word pedophile has such a stigma. It's just one of those things, you know? It's inexplicable. But if we use a different word, there will no longer be a stigma, because it's not about the person. For some reason, people just think negatively when they hear the word pedophile. It's just strange. And I'm just wondering how many times I can say the word pedophile before YouTube deletes this video.
In order to harm them or slander them. I also prefer person-first language that recognizes that any label we might apply to a person is only part of who they are and doesn't represent everything that they are. We are all...
Ah, the person-first argument. Colored people, bad. People of color, good. Minor attracted persons. I mean, that just sounds downright pleasant. Right? Surely that won't develop a stigma like the word pedophile that for some unknown reason has a stigma. Again, linguists and historians have been trying to figure this out for decades, why the word pedophile has developed a stigma, but again, no one knows.
People first with many different facets or parts of ourselves, and this includes folks who are attracted to minors. So to start with, let's talk about what a minor attracted person.
Well, first of all, there is no such thing as a person who is attracted to minors. There is only targets. That's it. Am I allowed to say that? Am I going to get in trouble?
Is, or who they are. This term simply means that the person has an enduring sexual or romantic attraction to minors. They've not chosen this attraction, just as the rest of us have not chosen whatever our attraction is. You don't get to choose to be heterosexual or to be gay or whatever you are. And you don't get to choose.
I'm not entirely sure about any of that. Mostly because even if you said the sky was blue, I'd have to argue it because you think that some people are just attracted to minors, and that's just okay. Everything you have to say is suspect. And actually, not just suspect, it's bullshit. It's automatically not true. I can't listen to you. There's nothing that you have to say could add anything to my day or my life. As I said before, if you are a map, the only thing you're good for is a target. That's it. There's nothing else.
Choose to be a minor attracted person. Some minor attracted persons are attracted to a specific age range of minors, while some are not. And some minor attracted persons are exclusively attracted to minors and are not attracted to adults at all. Some minor attracted persons are also attracted to adults.
Wow, look at that freeze frame at the end. It makes her look like a lizard person possessed by the devil. Look at her eyes. That freeze frame at the end just really, her true soul just came through. You can only hide the demon for so long before it just comes out. But, as I said, the only appropriate thing, all jokes aside, the only appropriate thing, if you find out that someone is a MAP, a minor attracted person, straight to the gallows, my friend. I'm sorry. Game over. Better luck next time. Try not to be reincarnated as such a disgusting piece of shit. No. Good luck next time. Isn't it weird that they all look like that? I mean, like I said, they say not to judge a book by its cover, yet I have yet to be wrong. I have yet to be wrong about any of these assumptions. It's not that difficult. But you're not supposed to do that. That's... Only meanies do that. What do you think the next word is going to be after, once they realize that MAP has inexplicably developed a stigma? What's the next word going to be? Corpse? Cadavers? Is that something? I don't know. I'm just spitballing. We'll, see what we can do. All right. I think we will have time later to go through some of the left can't meme. That's always a good time. I think we'll do that at the end just for a little bit, go through the left can't meme. The last clip that I wanted to go over is probably the most extreme case of Trump derangement syndrome that I've ever seen. And we all thought that cases of TDS would start to fall, right? Since Trump wasn't president anymore. Oh, were we wrong? Were we wrong? This is like COVID. It's just here to stay. There's just nothing. You just got to learn to live with it. Learn how to identify it, move on. At least with COVID, you can recover, and it's not really that big of a deal. But TDS seems to be terminal. It really does. There's no cure, and they just keep getting sicker and sicker and sicker. It just keeps getting worse. Yeah, I never really... I know who Sam Harris is, but I never really listened to him or anything. I've seen a few clips here and there. He seemed kind of like a dumbass, but sure, whatever. But yeah, it's that clip. I mean, this is nuts. Imagine calling yourself a philosopher and doing this. The guy calls himself a philosopher. That's a red flag right there. Talk about not, you don't judge a book by its cover. If you showed me a picture of this guy and said he calls himself a philosopher, I'd be like, well, of course he does. He looks like an asshole. He looks like that guy who thinks he's smarter than everyone else in the room. And he certainly talks like that. So here we go. The most extreme case of Trump derangement syndrome I've ever seen. I mean, it's impressive. You gotta you gotta respect the insanity. Or I guess the derangement.
Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Swamp Johnson, reporting to you tonight on the most extreme case of Trump derangement syndrome I have ever seen. This man who claims to be an intellectual, someone worth listening to, a man who claims to have a brain between his ears, believes that being the next John Wayne Gacy is not even close, does not hold a candle to the horrible things Trump has done. Brilliant.
Right. It's like, there's nothing. First of all, it's Hunter Biden, right? It's not Joe Biden. But even if Joe Biden,
which isn't even an argument because he's the president's son. I mean, you can't just remove the two. It's, if they weren't already corrupt, they would be being blackmailed by the Chinese, by the Russians. That's why you care about the people who are around important politicians. How easy would it be to get to them, you know? I mean, fortunately, they're already in business with the Chinese, so it doesn't really matter.
Whatever scope of Joe Biden's corruption is, like if we could just go down that rabbit hole endlessly and understand that he's getting kickbacks from Hunter Biden's deals in Ukraine or wherever else, right? Or China.
Oh, no. This has never happened before. Okay.
Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared.
I mean, that's still a great clip, but man, everything just went haywire on me.
Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had
we'll have to try this
the
again.
Corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared, right? It's like, there's nothing. First of all, it's Hunter Biden, right? It's not Joe Biden. But even if whatever scope of Joe Biden's corruption is, like if we could just go down that rabbit hole endlessly and understand that he's getting kickbacks from Hunter Biden's deals in Ukraine or wherever else, right? Or China. It is infinitesimal compared to the corruption we know Trump is involved in.
Oh, yeah. It's just the corruption that Trump is involved in. I mean, there's nothing worse than that. Including, like I said, being the next John Wayne Gacy. I mean, it's no big deal, right? Right, Sam? It's not a big deal, man. Dead kids, whatever.
Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared.
What an idiot, dude. Whatever you had to say after saying that, I mean, good Lord, like it matters.
It's like a firefly to the sun, right? I mean, like there's just, it doesn't even stack up against Trump University, right? Trump University as a story.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even stack up to Trump University. I mean, Sam, what was it that you said again? That is not as bad as Trump University. What was that again?
Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared.
Ah, yes, that's what I thought you said. Yeah, not as bad as Trump University. All right, cool.
Is worse than anything that could be in Hunter Biden's laptop, in my view, right? Now, that doesn't answer the people who say it's still completely unfair to not have looked at the laptop in a timely way and to have shut down the New York Post's Twitter account. Like that's just a conspiracy. That's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency.
And you know what, Sam? We're going to remember that you said that. All right? Left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency. We're going to remember that you said that. Write it down. Write it down because you seem to forget in the next 15 seconds that you said that.
To Donald Trump. Absolutely it was. Absolutely. Right. But I think it was warranted. Right. And again, it's a coin toss as to whether or not
Sam, I'm sorry.
That particular piece.
I'm really sorry. I was the one that said we should move on, but you've just said something I really struggle with there, which is you support
the kids in the basement.
No. The kids in the basement. I mean,
no, Sam, we know killing kids is no big deal. And actually, killing kids pales in comparison to what Trump has done. We all know that. That's just a given.
In democracy, you're saying you are content with a left-wing conspiracy to prevent somebody being democratically re-elected as president.
Well, no, I'm content. Well, but the thing is, it's just not left-wing, right? So Liz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that, Sam? Remember the shit I told you to write down? Remember? Did we forget already? Supposedly, it's not left wing. But what was that thing that he said?
That's just a conspiracy. That's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to Donald Trump. Absolutely, it was. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'm confused, Sam. Where are we going with this?
Cheney is not left-wing. Right, Liz Cheney is doing everything in her power
to prevent somebody being democratically elected.
But there's nothing conspiracy. It's not. It was a conspiracy out in the open. But it doesn't matter.
Oh, now it is a conspiracy again, and it was out in the open. And Liz Cheney apparently is right wing. I don't know if you missed that part. What a dolt! What a dolt!
It doesn't matter what part's conspiracy, what part's out in the open. I mean, I think it's like, if people get together and talk about what you...
So it doesn't matter. So first it was absolutely. What was that you said, Sam? I'm just I'm confused.
That's just a conspiracy. That's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to Donald Trump. Absolutely, it was. Absolutely.
Okay, so absolutely left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to someone who would have been elected, right? Absolutely. But then it's not a conspiracy theory, and it's not left-wing. But now, see, this guy is so smart. He moves really, really fast. I mean, this has all happened in the span of about 20 seconds. So now it was a conspiracy that was right out in the open. I mean, so it doesn't really count. It was right out in the open, right? So it was warranted because it was a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency, but it wasn't a conspiracy that was left-wing, but it was out in the open as a conspiracy that was left-wing to deny the presidency that was warranted. All right, gotcha. All right, I think I got it now. I'm keeping up, Sam. I'm keeping up.
We do about this phenomenon, you know, if it's like if there was an asteroid hurtling toward Earth, and we got in a room together with all of our friends and had a conversation about what we could do to deflect its course, right? Is that a conspiracy?
I mean, I guess. What does that have to do with anything, Sam? What are you talking about? That's got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. I'm pretty sure you put philosopher in your own bio on like Twitter or something. Man, that's how you... Dude, these philosophers really are over my head. And I love these two these two guys right here. Look at the looks on their faces. They're like, is this guy for real right now? I mean, the guy on the right looks like he's just in awe of this. Like, what? And the dude on the left just looks like he's about to poop his pants or something. I don't know. But of course, hey, if there's one thing that Trump is, it's worse than John Wayne Gacy. And I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that.
Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared.
It's got to be tough to be so just lost in the daze that comes along with Trump derangement syndrome. Well done, Sam. Well done. Man, the rain just keeps coming and going. don't know why everything went haywire in the middle of that. I'm going to blame the rain. It was the rain's fault. I mean, you have to... I mean, derangement is the only explanation. You have to actually legitimately be deranged to say something like that. You literally have the corpses of dead children in the basement, and it's still not as bad as what Trump has done. We didn't get any, you know, as usual, didn't get any explanation as to what it was that Trump has done. He brought up Trump University, which, okay, I guess. I mean, whatever. But do you really think that potentially scamming some people out of money is objectively worse than actually committing the crimes of John Wayne Gacy? This dude is just... He's off his rocker, man. It reminds me of that guy. Let me see if I can find the clip. The guy... Trump's provable crimes. Remember? Oh, where is that clip? The guy, some of them, his, well, what provable crimes are those? All right, I'm done talking now. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad we settled that. I know, it feels like it's the same thing. Where the hell is it? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Man. This really is... This is that, like, 2-minute Sam Harris clip, but condensed down to, 19 seconds. This is an instant classic.
Is this unprecedented to arrest a former president for not turning in documents?
Former president that had committed this many provable criminal acts.
But what are the provable criminal acts, I guess?
Provable criminal acts. Well, I'm done talking.
I love how he repeats it. Provable criminal acts, as if he's hearing it for the first time. The reporter, he said it like the reporter was the one who said it. He's like, what? Provable criminal acts? Yeah, that's what you just said. Oh, did I? Provable criminal acts. And that reminds me, I forgot. I was going to play this at the beginning of each show for a while. Here, I think I still got it. Speaking of provable criminal acts, you know.
I was not but it just happened to be that was the assignment I got. I got all the good ones, so I got Ukraine, and I remember going over convincing our team, or others too, convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said,
didn't they impeach Trump for this? They alleged that Trump did this?
I'm going to be leaving here.
When he didn't?
What, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired.
You know, I think, I could be wrong. That is an impeachable offense. It's a criminal offense. That's what you would call a provable criminal act. I mean, isn't that what they impeached him for? What, the second time? God. But nothing to see here. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. All right, I was going to go over some left can't meme, but I think I'm going to call it a little bit early because of the rain. I don't want to have the static sound just throughout this whole video. It's a bit of a bummer. But there's nothing I can do about it. It comes and goes. See, it's mellowing out now. Kind of. Clear skies all day, and then as soon as I click go live on YouTube, it just starts pouring down. Bummer. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show anyway, even with the the crazy noise. the static. Man, that's a bummer. Well, I don't know. Maybe we could. I don't know. I'm looking at the level here on the computer, and it's pretty damn high, that static. So it just makes me think that we'll probably just have to call it and then go over the left can't meme some other time. This is where I get all the stuff for my Swamp Can't Meme channel. Oh, Fish, thank you. Fish is sending out all the super chats tonight. Don't forget to check out the Swamp Talks merch, swamptalks.bigcartel.com to support the channel. Of course, before we go, we have just enough time to get in a few more super chats. If you got a few bucks you could throw my way, I'd appreciate it. I'll use it to try and get some sound editing stuff going on. Oh, I didn't mean Fish was the only one who sent super chats. I'm just saying, I think Fish has done 3 now. Fish is single-handedly buying me beers. I mean, fixing the studio. But yeah, again, thank you for the super chats. Check out the pinned comment. I have the link to join the Discord if you're on Discord. We just chat and send memes all day, and I go live on there sometimes with we watched Batman once. We watched Justice League once. Maybe we'll do that tonight. I'll stream something on there where I don't have to have the mic on, but we can still hang out. All right, guys. Gonna have to call it. This rain is just too much. I'll be streaming tomorrow night. My brother Bog might be here for that. We'll see. He might actually be able to make it, and maybe we'll play some games while we listen to music or something. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Have a good rest of your Friday, and jump on the Discord if you haven't, and we'll hang out a little bit longer. But if not, I will see you tomorrow night.